What's up, guys? Shane with Findlay here. A little bit of a different athlete of the week, and I'm here with
John Honeaguer from the Mojave Valley Daily News. Thanks for joining us. We're sitting here in our studio. We're going to be discussing some things. Shane will tell you what's going on first, but we made a bunch of trips down to River Valley so far this year. So, Chris, why don't you take us down to River Valley?
This is always a long trip, too.
So there we are, leaving our office. And
John, I wish I could fly like this together.
Right? We cut down on our travel time immensely. And then it always seems like we're showing up as soon as those kids are let out of school, so we're fighting traffic there. There we are, there at River Valley.
Absolutely. We spent a lot of time out there, talked to some great kids. Obviously, River Valley had a great football season, so that led to a lot of athletes of the week. And then we had some time we spent out at Mojave High School this year.
Take us to Mojave, Chris. Back out through Mojave Valley.
You know, the crazy thing is I really did have to do this trip most days. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You come down to River Valley and then turn around and hightail it back up to Mojave. There we are out on the football field.
Yeah, so, you know, Mojave turned their season around quite a bit. Big turnaround from last year. Had some great kids. And, you know, as a football fan, it's kind of fun to see all the programs do well, including their neighbors down the street down at Mojave Accelerated Learning Center.
Yeah, another team that last year had no wins and had a huge season this year. And we had a few athletes of the week come out of there as well. So there we are at Melk. You know, why don't you take us to that other place?
Where are you taking us, John?
Yeah, we're going across.
Where are you taking us, John?
There we are. I think you'll recognize this place.
Oh,
there we are at the White House. So,
well, listen, while I'm here,
I think you got some things to discuss with the big guy.
I got a few things I need to talk with the big guy.
All right, you know what? I don't think
I got some questions.
We should probably just go back to the studio.
Security guy back there.
Yeah, he's looking at you a little rough. All right, so we wanted to kind of take a break here in between seasons and talk about the whole Findlay Student Athlete of the Week program. So why don't you tell us?
We actually had a great year. Like I said earlier, it was so good to have so many successful football programs this year. If you're a football fan, this is a great place to be right now. A lot of good football out there. And I know there's a lot of good volleyball, golf, other things. I mean, things are really going well. And when we started this program, that was the big thing we wanted to do, is to let people know about all the good things going on with the student athletes in the area. So, you know, hats off to everybody out there. And that was kind of the thing where we had a break between fall sports and winter sports, and just kind of let everybody know where we're at with this thing and how to get involved and kind of the process.
Right, so the way the process works is each week you're judged on Monday through Sunday. So if you have games on Friday or Tuesday or Saturday or whatever, it doesn't matter. You're judged on those. There are certain requirements. You have to have a 3.0 GPA or higher, have to. But outside of that, we pretty much just take recommendations from coaches, the athletic directors at each of the schools. It goes from Laughlin all the way down to Needles. So if you're in Laughlin or you're in Needles, please make sure you get either your coach or your athletic director or somebody to get a hold of us and give us your nominations. Then Shane and I and Larry Kendrick, our general manager, Jake, our sports guy, we take a look at all the different statistics and make a decision from there who we think is the best choice.
And listen, coaches, talk with your ADs, because you know, sometimes it surprises you what really strikes as an outstanding performance. You know, we had a situation where you have a kid like Hammond who is fantastic, probably, you know, the best player in his game every game, and some of his teammates had huge performances in those games, and you know, Coach Clark thought that those kids were every bit as deserving and nominated them as well. So coaches, as you're out there, have that conversation. You know, that kid made a great play or even did something maybe off the field that was important. It was something that's considered by everyone.
Right. We had some that were athletes of the week last year in different sports because of their performance last week, but also because they're a big leader on the team. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the person that had the most points or the most goals or the most assists or I'm trying to think of some other sports vernaculars that we can use.
No personal fouls, no ejections. Those are always good for us.
Yeah.
But, and really, when we initially started this last year, it was for the whole area. We really intended on reaching out and touching everyone in this area. But COVID made it tough. A lot of the Nevada and California schools didn't really have an opportunity to. Yeah. But we can't wait to hear from those guys. I know they have some good athletes at Needles and Laughlin, and we're very excited to get over and get across the river and meet some of those kids. So.
Yeah, so that River Valley drive was long. Wait until you got to make that drive down to Needles and then back up to Mojave. So
that drive to Needles, but at least the Laughlin drive will be close from Findlay.
That's true. That'll be nothing for you.
We'll work out somewhere there. So.
All right, but if I see you voting against the Needles kid every week because you don't want to make that drive,
listen, it depends entirely on gas prices, John.
All right, okay. Back to the White House.
We're going back to the White House so I can drive out to Needles. So.
All right, so we're going to recap the athletes of the week that we've had so far, as well as a couple of the athletes of the month. We're going to run through this fairly quickly. So our first one right out the box, your guy, Jonathan Williams. He was a running back, or a quarterback and linebacker for Mojave football. He was the athlete of the week for the week ending August 29th. Then we had Zach Hammond at River Valley, another now a stud running back, but a great year. That was for September 5th. Isaac Robles from Mojave football. That was a defensive guy, right?
Yeah, he had a couple turnovers. I think he had a kick return or punt return for a touchdown that week.
Yeah, we tried to represent some of the defensive guys. We got another one coming up here that.
It's like the Heisman. The quarterback always gets all the attention, but there's a lot of deserving people in other fields.
Yeah,
so
that left tackle is protecting him anyway. So.
That's right.
All right, then we had Aiden Honeaguer. We all know Aiden as the basketball player, and they're getting ready to fire up going. He won a few of them last year.
And if I understand correctly, Aiden Honeaguer may have been player of the year for his region.
Oh, well.
I know he received some region accolades, and he's known as a basketball player, so hats off to him.
Yeah, and he's not a giant guy. Normally you think of a wide receiver as this 6'4" guy that can jump out of the gym. I mean, he can jump for sure, but he's more of a Wes Welker type.
Yes, he is.
Small, fast.
Great hands, great instincts, yep.
Gavin Hogenkamp, quarterback, River Valley. Yeah, it was for 926. Gavin won last year as a baseball player, but this is his first year as quarterback. Then we went over to Malk again for Josh Neal. Josh played football and golf, so he had a big week, 1 week.
He's another kid we met for basketball last year who ended up showing up in a couple other things.
Yeah, so they're getting going now. We'll see what happens over there. Then we went right back to Malk for Mark Fancher, defensive
linebacker
guy. Yeah, he had a great week. That was ending October 10th. Back to Jonathan Williams for Mojave, 10-17. Then we went golf. Hunter White, part of that killer Malk golf team over there with Josh Neal and
I was really glad to meet those guys so I can drag them along with me at the next golf tournament so I get maybe win for a change.
Hey, you know what they shot out at our golf tournament last week?
Better than I would have.
It was Josh, Hunter, and I don't remember who the other kid was. They shot a 64 out there. 8 under, 64. So if you see Josh Neal or Hunter White come up and want to hustle you for some golf, don't do it.
Buy it.
No.
Yeah.
Then Keldon Holmes, Malk quarterback. He had a 300-yard game that was ending October 31st. Then we couldn't decide.
Well, then we had a great problem, right? River Valley had such a good year. They made a run into the playoffs. I believe that was after the first round win, or was that the season ender?
No, this is after the first round.
And they had a lot of deserving guys. You don't get into that position without a lot. And so we actually decided to recognize both Hogenkamp and Hammett, as well as the rest of the team, for a great year. So it's fun when we get to do things a little out of the ordinary. I know it's a little out of the box, but it's hard not to recognize that group.
You know, I think Hammond had 200 yards, and I think Hogenkamp had like 180 yards passing and a couple of touchdowns.
I think the Water Boy's the only one who did not get in on it. That was probably 'cause his coach's kid, and he made him stay out of it.
And they play indoors, so how much water do they need?
That's right.
And then we finished it off on the 14th. That was last week. Another River Valley kid. That was for their second round game. And that was Gage Solano. He's a wide receiver. Had 180 yards on 3 catches. That's a pretty good average, right? Yes. Averaging 60 yards a catch. And I think 1 touchdown, at that time. So we had 2 athletes of the month so far. We had 1 for September, 1 for October. For September, we had
Zach Hammett, which is no surprise. Like I said, led that River Valley team, and I think the kid averaged almost 200 yards rushing a game. Those are video game numbers, as we like to call it, and couldn't be more deserving.
Yeah, and speaking of video game numbers and couldn't be more deserving, how about a kid for Mojave football that plays quarterback, doesn't get off the field, stays in for defense, plays backer for you. Is he Mike Backer, middle linebacker?
He's a middle linebacker, yep.
Yeah. Leads the team in tackles, leads the team in rushing, leads the team in passing.
And he's a sophomore.
And he's a sophomore.
Yeah.
And he's a very large young man.
Yeah.
So he was our October Athlete of the Month. So, again, congratulations to him. The Athletes of the Month, the way we do that is it doesn't matter if you won Athlete of the Week or not. We take a look at your numbers for the whole month. Again, athletic director, coaches, those kind of people submit them. And then we'll take a look at your numbers for the month.
I think we had a situation last year where I think it was the Neal kid who didn't win Athlete of the Week, but did get Athlete of the Month because he was so consistent and so good week in, week out. Yeah. And there were some performances here or there that overshadowed, but collectively it was such a great month that he ended up being our Athlete of the Month. So same thing with these guys. I mean, what a great group of kids. And, we go out and you guys don't know, but beforehand we let them know they won, shake hands, find the coach who never wants to talk on camera. The kids usually don't want to talk on camera either. But they end up being a lot of fun. Good kids, doing well in school, doing well in sports. Pleasure to talk to. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been very rewarding getting out there meeting these kids.
It is a lot of fun, and hearing their philosophy on things and seeing their what they think needs to happen for the next game or what their goals are, and that has been really interesting.
Some of these kids we have seen since last year, and I know that you've been involved in sports and have seen them before, and I've seen some of these kids since they were, not my size, and I can't wait to see where some of them go. I know a lot of those girls from softball last year out playing in college. It's very exciting to follow these kids. We hope you guys are following along and enjoying it because I can't wait to do a follow-up of some of these kids who are doing well afterwards and see where they're at.
Yeah, our student athlete of the year last year, Chloe Spitzer, she's off in Michigan right now playing.
She's very cold right now, is my guess.
She's a little chilly. I thought I read that she was going to be back this week, so she might be here right now, warming up a little bit, thawing out. As a Wisconsin boy, I know that it's cold up in Michigan. All right, so we're going to wrap this up, but we just want to thank everyone for tuning in and watching these. Please make sure that you share these every week so that everyone gets a chance to see these young athletes. And if you're a parent, please encourage your coach to get all of the information from your soccer or volleyball or track or cross-country team or basketball team or whatever. Get that information to the athletic director and to us. We're going to put up, Chris is going to put up Jake's, this is our sports editor's email address. You can pull it off of there. You can email him with stats and comments and that, and eventually.
And also, guys, just remember, we're trying to keep it to the high school level. I know that that third grade wrestling tournament went well, but it's just too much for us to handle. We're just two guys trying to do the best we can. So this is a high school age award for this, this point in time right now. And we can't wait to hear from everybody.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Then we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching, and we hope that next Thursday we will have some good athlete of the week for you. All right, everyone. Take care. We'll see you.